welcome to another episode of By the Lakeside. My name is Sandy, and this is my creative space where I sit down and share whatever knitting, sewing, or any kind of making that I am getting up to at the moment. It has been a really long time since I have sat down to film one of these, and that's mostly because I haven't really been knitting very much. I haven't been purchasing as much yarn. I've really slowed down on how much knitting I've been doing, and I think I've just been focusing on work. I make project bags and leather accessories for my shop. I've been trying to do a little bit more for my shop lately, and I've just been enjoying my family and my time and haven't been knitting as much. But I've been picking it up again recently and really enjoying the process and the projects. And so I thought I would finally sit down and share a few things with you today. If you are looking for me elsewhere, you can find all the links to where I am down below on Instagram, Ravelry, and my website. And I am just going to jump into some knitting and what I've been up to and share some shop news a little bit later, some dream knitting that I have on my mind, and some beautiful yarn that I received in the last week or so. So let's just jump right into it. I usually start with finished objects, and I was feeling like I didn't have any, and then I remembered that I've been collecting in this beautiful little basket a whole bunch of sock whips that I've been trying to tackle and finish up. I have so many works in progress all over the house. I have bins here in my studio space. I was really feeling the need to pull out some old projects and start checking them off my list and completing them. So I started with socks. And in this little basket, I have 3 pairs of socks that are finished. I may have shared one of them before, but it's been so long, I just thought I would share everything that I have in this basket. So in here, I actually have clipped on one of these beautiful little wooden, I don't know what you call them, it's like a charm. It's got the Kitchener stitch listed on there. I purchased this at Espace Tricot many years ago, and it is an item from Katrinkles. I just love having this here. This has sort of been my little station I pull out when it is time to finish socks. So in there, I also have this little set of darning needles, and they are from Tulip, and they were also purchased at Espace Tricot a very long time ago. I have a pair of little scissors in here with one of my leather scissor sheets. So everything is in here, and so far I have collected 3 pairs. The first one I've had finished for quite a while. It is a shorty vanilla sock using one of my favorite colorways from Legacy Fiber Arts. The colorway is Woodland Shenanigans, and then the mini is a beautiful golden rusty color from Chelsea Luxe Yarns. I'm pretty sure this was in one of the first advent calendars that I ever had, and it just looked so beautiful with this. So this is just a basic vanilla sock, fingering weight yarn, and I may have had to finish a toe, I can't remember, but super simple. It's in my basket because I just need to weave in the ends. And it was sort of the starting point for me to start a little collection and get a few other pairs going and finished. So I ended up pulling out my Cozy Knitter Advent Skein from, let's see, I think this one was the 2020 one, so not this past Christmas, the one before. It is a beautiful sock, and it's the one that I decided to try out the Magic Heel sock pattern. So I will put the information for that pattern down below. I absolutely love this pattern. It is so simple to just knit and knit a big tube, and as you're going, you put in this little rib section instead of doing a traditional heel flap and gusset. So it's a lot quicker for me. I really enjoyed the process, and I've had people ask me about the fit, and I really like the fit on me. It's great, super comfortable, it stays on. And so I think I just had to finish one of them or both of the toes. I'm not quite sure, but I ended up using an undyed natural yarn with stellina. So there's a little bit of gold in the toes and the cuffs. And I really love this pair. So it was nice to get these off the needles after a year and a bit. And they were very close to being done. I just needed to finish them up. So I think that one was second on my list to put in the basket. And they are just sitting here patiently to have the ends woven in. I actually went pair by pair and sat down and finished up toes and Kitchener stitched the toes closed and then put them in the basket. So I've had a little process going. It's kind of like an assembly line. And let's see, I'm not sure. I think these ones might be from this past Advent. So I have another Cozy Knitter Advent skein. This is most likely from 2021. I feel like it is. So I ended up finishing both of these as well. I think I was somewhere around here on one of them, and then I can't remember the other one. So I'm pretty sure I had to finish both of them because I was probably halfway down the foot. And again, these are fingering weight. They are from the Cozy Knitter. And for all of my vanilla socks with fingering weight yarns, I use a 2.25 millimeter needle. Sometimes I use DPNs and sometimes I do magic loop. I kind of alternate. I think I kind of prefer DPNs mostly, but every once in a while I really enjoy doing the circular needle. And for those, I really like the Chow, and I use the same size. I use a 32-inch length. That's my favorite preferred length for magic loop socks. And I really love these socks. So they're all done. I just have to weave in the ends. So this basket is really inspiring to me. I have it out on display so I don't forget about it. And my goal is to finish another 1 or 2 pairs that I have in my whip pile, and then just continue to add another pair or 2 to this basket. Then I'm going to sit down and have a whole session of weaving in the ends, and I will have all of these beautiful socks to just give a really quick block. I don't really need to block them, but I like to wash them so they smell really nice and they bloom a little bit. And then I will add them all to my hand knit sock drawer. So that is really exciting. This is sort of what got me back into knitting after I sort of lost interest for a while. So the one pair of socks that I am currently trying to finish is in one of my denim bunny bags. This has been a really fun knit, but I've been busy, and so I just pick it up here and there, and I was doing really well because at the same time I was finishing up some of the other socks. I finished the first one. So this is a DK weight sock. The yarn is from Woolens and Nosh, and the colorway is Hawaiian shirt. And I have been really loving DK weight socks. They are probably my favorite socks to knit at the moment, and I've been accumulating some more DK weight yarn so that I can continue to knit on them because they are just so much faster. And as someone who is not a really regular knitter, I know probably a lot of you are, I don't knit every day, and I don't naturally pick up my knitting in spare moments throughout the day. For me, it's really a process where I plan it, I sit down with it, and I enjoy it, but it's not an everyday occurrence for me unless It just happens to be a week where I'm finding a little bit of extra time and I'm really into our project. But DK weight socks knit so quickly. I knit them with DPNs, and let's see what size I use here. I'm not even sure if I can see them. I can. A US size 3 or 3.25 millimeter needle. And the ones that I really love for all of my socks, if I'm using DPNs, are Knit Pro Zings. The pattern I'm using for the DK weight socks is a vanilla pattern from one of my favorites, Kay Litton. She is the crazy sock lady. I adore Kay. She is such a good knitting inspiration in general, but when it comes to socks, she is super inspiring. And this is a really basic recipe to knit DK weight socks. So here is the rest of my yarn. So I finished the first one, and I really, really love the colors of this. And I started the second one, and I've made a lot of progress. So I did the leg. I am right now on the heel flap. I'm almost done the heel flap. And once I get through turning the heel and the gusset, I'm sure this one will fly off the needles. And I'm pretty sure that once I get this pair done and add it to my basket and finish it up, that's when I'm going to allow myself to possibly start a new sock. I've been wanting to start another DK weight one for quite a while, but I told myself I really needed to finish up some of these loose ends and tuck them away in my sock drawer, and then I can move on to the next pair. So I might share some of the DK weight yarns that I have in my stash later, just to show you some of the possible next cast-ons that I have. I even have one ready in a bag, and but I might have another one that might take its place, so we'll see. So that is my progress on sock knitting. I've finished 2 pairs. I have 3 in my basket, but I think I've finished 2.5 in the last couple of months and made quite a bit of progress on the second one of this pair. So I've been doing sock knitting. I've been keeping this bag next to me in my studio space so that when I'm having really busy work days and shop updates, I'm just sewing away on project bags, that I'm reminded to just pull it out and maybe knit a couple of rows here and there. I don't do it every day, but whenever I can remember, I do. So I'm really enjoying my socks at the moment. My next whip is in another one of my large project bags this time. And I can't even remember what I shared in my last video, because I think my last one was in January, just quite a long time ago. But I decided that I wanted to knit another 2nd Avenue wrap. I've already knit one and I absolutely love it. So I will show you my first one first, that I shared a long time ago when it was done. It is this beautiful long wrap with all of these different colors and sections. There's a scalloped edge, there's a micro stripe, there's an eyelet section here, there's like a pearl ridge section here, another eyelet section, and then a rugby stripe and a picot edge. This is one of my favorite things that I have knit. It is super wearable and versatile and comfortable. It is using Plucky Knitter's Primo fingering. I think that's what it's called, which is the cashmere fingering base. It is soft and luxurious, and I absolutely love it. And one of the things that I realized in the past 6 months or so, as my knitting habits have changed a little bit, I'm not knitting as much, I'm not buying as much, I haven't been visiting yarn festivals or trade shows or anything like that, I just came to realize that I don't knit a ton. And so what I do knit has to fit a few parameters that I really enjoy. One of them is, will I wear it? And that there are exceptions to that. There are some blankets and some little projects that I just do for fun. But for the most part, if it is a shawl or a sweater, I have to check off the box that I would want this in my wardrobe. It has to be the type of pattern that I would enjoy, and I am the type of person that doesn't really love charted patterns and complicated patterns. There are exceptions for that as well. If there's a time that I really want to do something special or a color work sweater, that's different. But for the most part right now, I am looking for projects that I can take anywhere with me in the house that don't require much counting or keeping track of a lot. And I just enjoy them. I really enjoy garter stitch. I've grown to enjoy purl stitches too, and things like the eyelets and the stripes are so much fun in this pattern. So I just decided, why not make another one? Because I love picking out colors, and I saw a kit that I fell in love with at the Knitting Loft. And I probably did share the yarn, but I will share with you right now the progress I have made on my second one. And this is a pattern by Amy Miller. And again, I am using the Plucky Knitters Primo Fingering, which is a cashmere fingering weight yarn. So I feel like this is kind of a spring summer version, and this one is a little bit more of a fall winter or holiday one. I really love these colors. I've done the scalloped edge, just the first section, and I am almost done the micro stripe or the mini stripe section. I think these colors are so beautiful and so much fun. And I've been really enjoying this whole process so far. I do remember that the eyelet sections were the ones that I really slowed down on because they're not that interesting to knit. But the colors I have from this kit from the Knitting Loft is so beautiful that I'm just gonna try and push through it. And this is my project that I can take anywhere with me. It can go in the backyard with me. It can go when we go driving for soccer games for James. It's just easy to take anywhere and move from room to room throughout the house. I don't have a chart to follow. It's super easy. So these are some of the colors. And then the rest, oops, are here. Super fresh, super beautiful. This is still available at the Knitting Loft if you are interested. This exact same kit, it's 5 colors, and I'm really excited about it. I know that they had a sample knit up when I was visiting the store probably in January, and I fell in love with it. I've just swapped out which colors I'm using where in the pattern. That was the only adjustment I made. I didn't follow their version exactly, but I'm really excited about this one. So this is probably the project that I have most consistently knit on in the last little while, even though I haven't made a ton of progress. It's really the one that I pick up the most. I have picked up my half and half triangle wrap from Purl Soho a few times, but it is such a big project and the rows are so long that I didn't even bring it up here to share with you because it doesn't really look like I've made much progress. I think I've probably knit 6 or 10 rows since the last time I sit down with it. I knit maybe 2 or 3 rows and then I'm kind of over it because it's really long. But I'm hoping that now I'm getting back into the process of knitting again and falling in love with all of my whips, that one is going to be pulled out a lot more often. this spring and summer because I do love a squishy garter project. And that one, it's beautiful and I still really love my colors and I'm not giving up hope on that one. The other project I pulled out, I have not touched at all, and I debated whether or not to share this because I know one time I completed a project and shared it with everyone here after many, many years. It was a project I had, I think, already started when I started YouTube or very early on, and it got put away and I finished it last year, I think, and I got a couple of comments about how disappointed people were because it was such an old project. But that is just the kind of knitter I am. I love to start projects. I love the anticipation of a new project. I love picking out new colors. Obviously, I love new purchases, new yarns. When something is launched, it's so exciting when you fall in love with the pattern and you want to collect the right yarns for it. And then I set up a bag. I get very excited about it. One of the things that I found is after a while, if I really don't love it anymore, I will rip it out. So I've come to accept that that is who I am, and starting something and giving it a try to me is better than not trying anything at all. And it's sort of how I've been finding, it's one of the ways that I can really figure out if I want to stick with a project or not. Starting it really allows me to figure out if it's something I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, I can rip it out and use the yarn for something else. And if I do enjoy it, then I will continue with it. And sometimes I will stick with it and finish it relatively quickly. I'm not super fast, but I will not put it away. And other times there will be a project that I love so much that I will not rip it out, but it will get tucked away and go into a timeout or hibernation mode. And I really have found that that works for me. And so I pulled out one of those projects that I have had on the needles for a really long time. It's been in a project bag. It's switched project bags. I've pulled it out periodically through the last few years, and I will not rip this one out because it is so beautiful and I really, really love it, but it is not the most enjoyable thing for me to knit. But it's one that I think is worth persisting with. So it is in another one of my project bags. If you guys have followed me for a while, you will remember this one. It is the Bayou Shawl by Layla Robb. It is a beautiful, beautiful shawl. It uses Quince & Co. What is this yarn? It's so old I can barely remember. It's Kestrel, which is 100% organic linen. And it is this beautiful, almost ribbon-like yarn. I am in love with this color. It's one of my favorite colors ever. And I think I have almost a third of this knit. And it's been growing in width as I go. So it was a slow start for me. But I think once I get to the halfway mark and then I can start reducing the width again, hopefully it will go a little bit quicker. And I'm really hoping that this is going to be my summer project. So if you guys remember this beautiful, beautiful pattern, I am in love with it. And I have heard that when you block this yarn, it becomes even more beautiful, but I even love it as it is. So I feel like I've put a lifeline in here and I've made a note. I was smart. It says lifeline is row 12 or 13, and I'm pretty sure I have the row marked where I left off. So I will just have to make sure that that's where I am. And I'm really going to try and continue this one. I remember I used to really enjoy working on this in the backyard sitting at the table, and I'm going to try to pick up that habit again this year. I really enjoyed working on this outside under the umbrella and just watching the beautiful pattern emerge. So even though it's not my favorite thing to knit, I feel like I'm gonna stick with this one because it is so beautiful, and I'm getting a lot better at knowing what I want to stick with and what not to. I know in the last year or two, I have started a lot of projects and I've actually ripped out a lot, but I think because I've gotten to a place where it's been, I think, a good five years since I really got back into knitting, and I've sort of figured out now what patterns work for me, what I like, and I know which projects I will stick with. I can just tell. And I recently started the pressed flowers shawl, which is absolutely stunning. And that was one that I started knowing that I wasn't 100% sure if I would stick with it. And I'm feeling like it's not, because I'm not enjoying it that much. I do love the finished shawl so much, and I would love that one in my closet, but I don't enjoy the pattern. I am just not, I don't enjoy charts. So if it's a hat, I love it. If it's color work, I will do it. But a chart pattern for a shawl is just, it's a big project. It takes me a long time to do it, and I don't think I want to invest that much time into it. But we will see. It's still on the needles, and I'm giving it a little bit more time as I work through some of these other projects to figure out what I want to do with it, but we will see. And speaking of projects that I know that I love and I want to invest my time in, I saw a pattern the other day on the Clinton Hill Cashmere Instagram account that I fell in love with. It is really simple, really beautiful, in cashmere, of course. And I knew right away that this is my kind of pattern, and so I purchased the kit. I'm pretty sure that in order to get the pattern, you need to purchase their yarn, either on their website, or if their yarn is carried at your local yarn shop, you can get it. But it is called the Bandit, and it is this beautiful, like bandana shaped cowl. It is stunning. I think it is something I would wear over and over again. This one is in like a really soft baby blue, which is gorgeous. And I had a lot of trouble picking between two colors. I might actually make two, but I decided to just purchase the one kit, make it, and if it's something I really like and enjoy wearing and making, then I will order another kit in the fall to make another color, because I absolutely want to make it in their camel color. But I decided to, I don't have a picture of it here, but I chose tropical teal because that is currently one of my favorite colors. It is a beautiful jewel toned, like teal turquoise color. And so I think that's going to be a really fun knit. I purchased it from their website, but your local yarn shop might have their yarn too, so you can check that out if you are interested in it. So that is my dream knitting. I do have a few shop update things I wanted to mention. I am currently working on more project bags. I did have an update not that long ago, and as soon as it was done, I started cutting out fabric again and started another batch because I've been really enjoying fabrics and sewing lately. So I always have leather items in my shop, and I've been really keeping up all of the colors and restocking whenever I can. But the project bags have been in batches still because I am the only one making them, and it takes a really long time. These ones are not quite finished, but I thought I would share what fabrics I have in case you are interested and want to follow along for the next shop update. I don't have a date planned just yet. I like to make sure that they're all going to be done in time for the update. I don't do pre-sales or pre-orders on project bags, but I do always put the date of the next shop update when I know it on the banner of my website and also on my profile on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can keep track of shop updates there. I always post a few pictures beforehand and try to give everyone a little bit of notice. But I'm thinking these might be in the shop in a week and a half to 2 weeks. I feel like that will give me enough time to finish putting all the labels on and install zippers and then finish sewing them all. So I have 2 different fabrics for small project bags. I have these beautiful mushrooms. And I have this really fun railroad stripe denim. It's a little bit more blue in person, but I really love various denims and striped denims. And I've had this fabric in my stash for a while and I thought it was super cute with these. And so I will have these 2 project bags in my shop. And I have one print for large project bags because the last update I did, I really had more large ones and less small ones. This time I have more small ones and less large ones. This is one of my favorite fabric prints ever. I did some small project bags in the quilter's cotton version of this in a different color a couple of years ago, and it's still one of my favorites. And this year they came out with a canvas. So my large project bags are almost always a cotton linen canvas. And then the small project bags are quilter's cotton. So this is this size bag, which I usually use for shawls, sweaters, blankets, all kinds of stuff can fit in these. So I will have those in a couple of weeks. Another brand new item to my shop is this small zip pouch that I've been wanting to put in my shop for a couple of years now, and I finally just figured it all out and got them done and posted. This one here is the sapphire blue. This one is actually mine that I kept, and I really love it. It has a little wristlet on it. This wristlet is a little bit smaller than the other one I have in my shop, and it comes with the pouch on a little swivel hardware piece with a gold zipper. It's detachable, so you can also use this as a keychain and just carry the little pouch around. Or you can hook this right onto the D-ring in one of your tote bags. So in here, I really like to keep just a couple of essentials that I can toss in my bag or even take with me into a store. It's perfect for my little headphones case. I keep like a little hair clip, an elastic, a lip balm. You can throw in a couple credit cards or your driver's license. It's a really nice size. It is unlined because I wanted to keep it really lightweight, and I love the squish factor of leather, and so a lot of my pieces are unlined to keep them just easy to toss around from bag to bag and not too heavy. So I have all the colors in the shop. I think I was only missing the brown because I'm waiting for more of the brown leather to come in. But I have them in the camel print. A couple colors sold out. I have some in, this is the iris color, which is like a really pale lavender. I have black plum, which is also one of my favorites. I really love purples. I have one more rose pink, which is a favorite. I've got black, forest green, raspberry, and mustard. So I have lots of these left in the shop. I will be adding some brown as soon as the brown leather comes in. And I also have a pre-order listing for the large tote bags right now in my shop. They have been there for about a week, and I will probably keep them up for another half a week to a week. So maybe 5 to 7 days. That is for the Everything leather tote bag, which is the large one. It is also unlined, and I use this as a catch-all for everything any time of the year, but I really like it in the summertime because we go to a lot of soccer games, and I just love throwing in whatever pouches I want to bring. My knitting fits in here. I have one of my flat pouch or clutches in here, which has sort of my purse essentials. This can just go from one purse or one bag to another. I've got hand cream and a notebook, pens, masks, my portable charger for my phone, just all kinds of things in here. Lip balm. It is really like my comfort case of everything I like to have with me when I'm not at home. So this is in here. I have one of my signature small pouches with pens and knitting notions in here. I usually throw in one of my project bags. I've got shopping bags in here, Kleenex, a little makeup pouch, and there's still tons and tons of room. And I bring this with me in the car, and I usually also have my crossbody bag that I leave in here, and then whenever I need to run into a store, I just pull the crossbody bag out and wear that and leave this one in the car unless I'm going somewhere I need everything. So I have pre-orders up now. They should be ready to go out in I think 4 to 6 weeks. I'm just getting all of the colors of leather gathered again, and it'll take a couple weeks to get those made and shipped out. But if you've been wanting a large Everything leather tote bag for late spring or summer, this is the perfect time because I don't think I've had a pre-order up since February. So I don't put them up super often, but I've had a few requests, and it's the perfect time to grab a tote bag if you've been wanting one. I have one other project that I forgot to mention earlier that I wanted to share with you today. It's kind of an unusual one. It is an almost finished blanket that my mom gave to me. It is in this basket. I have all the different pieces that need to be sewn together and one panel that needs to be completed. So this is one of my projects to do this spring or summer, and I'm really excited about it because this blanket was started many, many years ago by my mom. Oops. And she had plans to knit a blanket for both of my sisters and myself. She was going to let us each pick out our colors. She had some patterns that she was using, and I got to be the first one to choose. So she chose the pattern and she told me what we needed. I remember going to a store. I'm pretty sure we went to Lewis Craft. This was a very long time ago. That store is no longer around. And I picked out my colors, and she worked on this blanket over the years, panel by panel. Here's the old book, or one of the old booklets that she had. And she was recently cleaning out her basement, and she found it, and she gave everything to me. And I was a little worried at first because I thought, there's no way I want to work on a big blanket. But when I pulled everything out, I realized that she's done every single panel except for one, and that one is half done. The pattern is in this book. It's called Afghans to Knit and Crochet by Beehive. She's got some notes here of the pattern, and I'm pretty sure that this is it here. It's called Rippling Waves. It looks quite big here. I'm not sure if this one is as big, but I'm sure when it's blocked, it will grow a little bit too. This is the yarn. It's a Patton's Beehive Shetland Chunky. It is 75% acrylic, 25% wool. And I will show you what I have in this basket. So it is kind of like a gradient blanket. I think the centerpiece is this cream. So here's one piece. And I will lay them out all on the floor after and include a photo or a little bit of a video so that you can see what it looks like. And then after the cream one, on either side, there will be a light gray. So I have one of those. Then it goes into the charcoal gray. I have two of those. And actually, I'm wrong. The center is black because I have one black. So it will be black, then charcoal, then light gray, and then cream. And then on this side, it will repeat. So it will be charcoal, light gray, and cream. And I have all of the pieces except this one needs to be finished. So the second light gray panel is about halfway done. Got the needles in here and I think enough yarn to finish it. And so my plan is to try and figure out where she is in the pattern. I'm not very good at that, but I'm going to have to try and figure it out. And once this panel is done, I will have all the panels that just need to be sewn together and I will have a blanket, which is kind of like a gift, like a huge gift that an almost finished project has been placed in my lap. And I feel like it's my duty to finish this one. And like I said, if there were multiple panels to do, I don't think I would do it. I have to be really inspired by a project to invest my time in it. But the fact that there is just one panel left to do, I have to finish it. So this basket is sitting in my studio here. I've got all of the pattern information, my mom's notes that I think she just put together a little sort of cheat sheet for the pattern in her handwriting, which I kind of love. And I'm just gonna have to figure it out. And then I will have this beautiful piece that my mom started for me. And unfortunately, my sisters are not getting one because she didn't finish the first one and didn't move on to the others. But if I become an expert blanket knitter at some point in my life, then maybe I will make a blanket for each of my sisters too. But that's not gonna happen for a very, very long time. So that is all of my knitting. I've got lots of projects that are inspiring me and I'm really excited to just pick up and work on through these beautiful next few months. I am hoping to knit outside in the backyard and just keep my projects portable, super easy, which I think is the key to me wanting to pick them up. I have just a couple more things that I wanted to share with you before I wrap up for the day. I've received two beautiful packages in the mail with some hand-dyed yarn. The first one was from my friend Christina at Chelsea Luxe Yarns. If you haven't received or seen your coupe collection for April or May, it's the Beatrice colorway, then you might want to look away so I don't spoil it for you. But I really wanted to share it because it is so beautiful. Each month, Christina dyes a gorgeous colorway inspired by one of the chickens in her coop. And this month it is Beatrice. And this is just the prettiest colorway. I think it's going to knit up beautifully with this really strong contrast purple. It's very saturated. And then there's this pale pink. and all of those gorgeous speckles in there. So pretty. And it comes with this really pretty baby blue or almost periwinkle mini. So I'm really excited about this one. I think it's the perfect spring summer colorway and will make beautiful socks. The other package I received was from Legacy Fiber Arts. I was mentioning earlier how much I've loved knitting DK weight socks. I'm really enjoying them because they knit quickly. They feel really good in my hands. It's kind of like a plumpy, soft yarn. The fit is really well. And I'm kind of obsessed with the base and the colorways from Legacy Fiber Arts. I've got a few in my collection. And I was browsing online one day and I noticed that they had a whole new collection for spring in their shop. I think it was the Candy Shop or the Sweet Shop collection. And I fell in love with this colorway and I had to order it. Their base for DK weight sock yarn is absolutely beautiful. And just look at this color. I'm obsessed. It is a 4-ply DK weight yarn, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 100-gram skein, and this colorway is called After Dinner Mints. And I don't usually gravitate to really soft pastel colors, but this skein is so gorgeous. I'm in love. So I had to order it. This could possibly be my next pair of DK weight socks. And I pulled out a few other DK weight yarns that I wanted to share because I'm having trouble choosing which one will be next. And I thought it would be fun to pull out the ones that are contenders. When I got that package from Legacy Fiber Arts, I had two little surprises in there from Chelsea and Sue. They included these beautiful micro sock kits on their steel toe base from the Sisters collection. And so these are named after Charlie and Lily, and I could not love them more. They are so beautiful. So this one here is Charlie Sue. Their micro sock kits are so fabulous because if you love knitting socks but you don't need the full skein and you always end up with a lot of leftovers, then this is perfect for you because you get a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram mini, which is plenty for me to knit my socks. As long as you're not doing a super long leg, it is perfect. So this is the Charlie Sue colorway, which is absolutely stunning. Their colorways are just magical. They're absolutely magical. And this one is Liliana. Beautiful pink with like a vanilla or natural mini. So much fun. I really love them. And I wanted to share more of their yarn because I have quite a few skeins of their DK weight sock yarn and some DK sock sets. And I'm trying to figure out which one will be next. And so for example, I pulled out a new project bag for myself. It is the Deep Water colorway bunny bag. And I thought it would be fun to set up my next project to just keep me going on my current sock whips. Just remind me to finish them because I will have something beautiful to start after those are done. So once my striped sock, the Hawaiian shirt sock, is done, I'd really like to cast on a new DK weight sock. And the one that I had chosen was this. I thought that would be so much fun for spring. This is the Sally Owens colorway, which was a Halloween colorway from them. And it is a 100-gram skein with two 20-gram minis, which I love because you don't have to wind up 2 balls if you want to knit them at the same time. And I do love casting on both socks once in a while just to keep the project going, and then doing both of the cuffs and then working on one and then working on the other. And this is just a gorgeous colorway. Their yarn is so soft and luscious that I really, really enjoy their sock projects, or working on socks with their DK weight yarn. So that's what I was planning on casting on next for my socks. But now I'm not sure, because this one arrived, my after dinner mints. We will see. And I thought it would be fun to pull out some of the other colors that I have. I have their Tiptoe DK weight, which is a beautiful, fun pink and orange colorway. My favorite color, I do love my purples. This one is called Lavender Lace. And another sock kit, again in DK weight, is also from their Halloween collection, and it's called the Ants. Love them. Then I thought I'm going to pull out my another current whip that needs to be pulled out and worked on at some point. It's in one of my bunny bags. And I really love Kay's pattern for the DK vanilla weight socks. But if I want to do something a little special, I love this pattern. It is the Saturday sock pattern from Tracy Miller. Tracy is from the Grocery Girls, and I adore her. And she has the best patterns. I was a test knitter for this, and it was just the most well-written pattern ever. Really, really fun, and I finished one. It fits beautifully. I love it. It's kind of like a twisted rib broken pattern. And so I have one completed, and I have started the second one. And I was doing these on my favorite Knit Pro Zings, the DPNs in US size 3, which is a 3.25 needle. And I have the rib cuff done and just the beginnings of the leg. So I would like to finish that one. I do love these socks, and they need to go into my sock drawer. The yarn for this is Legacy Fiber Arts. I am using, let's see here, this color is Cinnamon Sticks, and this color is Dry Roast. And my plan for these skeins of yarn, which I think is brilliant with the size of them, is the first pair is using Cinnamon Sticks with just a Dry Roast toe. And then I'm going to do a vanilla pear and reverse it. So the main part of the sock will be Cinnamon Sticks, and then I will finish the toe in, Dry Roast, and then I'll finish the toe with Cinnamon Sticks. So I will get 2 pairs out of the 2 skeins, but I'm just mixing up a little bit of a contrast. And I might do this pair a little shorter. I'm not sure, we will see. But I think it would be really nice to have this beautiful pattern sock in this yarn, and then do a vanilla sock as well. So I pulled this out after I was thinking about all of the socks that I want to finish. I do have a few other socks, but I feel like this is a really good start to getting a lot of my sock whips off the needles, getting them all finished, weaving in the ends, giving them a little block or a rinse in some really yummy wool soap, and then putting them all into my sock drawer so they are ready for rotation, and they will be so cozy to wear around the house this spring and summer when the air conditioning goes on and you don't want to wear big heavy slippers. So, and they'll be great all year round, because who doesn't love hand knit socks? So that is all of my knitting that I am looking at right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I will try to be back sooner than this last time. I'm hoping to just knit a little bit more regularly, catch up on some of my old projects, start a couple of new ones, and be back soon. So take care, and I will see you next time.